What's up, guys? Today I wanted to do a little video. I have my notes up here, so I wanted to talk about like why I love DanDaDan so much. I am a Geek Tod fan. I need like 10 seasons of this show. I love the show so much. So I really wanted to emphasize on a couple points in this video because these are like things that I was seeing people talk about in terms of like sexual assault, fan service, things like that. And it's like not people actually understanding the story and the concepts of what it is. I have not read the manga yet. I am tempted to do it. I most likely will do it because I just don't know when the third season is going to come out. And technically a lot of people were saying season 1 and 2 really was one season and it just split it into 2 seasons. And it was giving that too. It really was giving that because I was like, that should just been one season. But I really did enjoy the show. It really got me back into anime in terms of like I've always watched anime, but in terms of like consistently watching it again and getting back into like reading manga and a lot of things like that. I haven't read the manga yet, but like, it just kind of got me that level of inspiration and enjoying like content like that. So the first thing I really wanted to emphasize and get into is the issue that I kind of see that people face when they get on episode 1. When you get on episode 1, you are faced with the sexual assault scene, with the aliens, the Serpians. Oh god, I should have looked their names up. The Serpians, the Serpos. Let's just say the aliens, right? Let's just say the aliens, where our main character Momo Ayase is about to be probed and abducted by these aliens. And a lot of people were upset by that because they're like, I don't like that I don't like that the author is making this weird scene with like fan service and aliens and shit like that, and making sexual assault and fan service. And I was just like, did we watch the same shit? Like, and to me, I do feel like it becomes a point where people aren't fully analyzing the show, and you get all right up on episode 1 and then you just hang it up and then you leave it on that note. And I do feel like that's a little slanderous because my show DanDaDan is good. It has so many peak moments. It has so many good stories, and the backstories and the character development for everybody is very well written, very good. But you're not gonna know that if you only like, if you're just like, oh, episode 1 there's sexual assault, oh, I'm dropping it. And I get it, like if that is too much to watch for you specifically as an individual, that is fine. I get it, like it's not for everybody. And I really want to emphasize on, like, I get it, like some people have triggers, like it, I understand that. But we have to be critical when we're talking about things like this, because you can't just broad stroke the show because a specific thing in the show made you uncomfortable and you have yet to really um properly dissect the topic at hand that was presented to you. To me, that kind of reads a little bit irresponsible, especially when people have these takes on TikTok. They're like, I'm not gonna watch it because of sexual assault, and the first episode was, and I was just like, y'all be having these egregious takes on things that to me doesn't make sense if you fully can't put all the context together of why that situation happened in the first place. Because number one, the whole aliens and dressed up as businessmen having, about to, assault this girl, unsuspecting girl, is really a commenting. I don't even want to say on Japanese culture. I think that's culture as a whole, especially in a lot of different countries. It's not just Japan. So I know people want to say Japanese business culture. It's definitely way more outside of Japan, because like it happens in America, it happens in Europe, it happens in Asia, it happens everywhere where a lot of men with status and power and money tend to abuse it and put a lot of women, unsuspecting women, especially younger women, in situations that they should not even be in, right? Hence why they're dressed up as fucking salaried businessmen. I just, it's so weird to me. And to fully understand all the characters as a whole of why it came in. But I'm not sure, because when Turbo Granny comes in, right, to help Momo, I don't know if it was emphasized on at that point if Granny was a good person or not. I think when they finally defeated Granny and Psycho reveals that, you know, Granny usually comes to like the scenes where a lot of like girls were like violently murdered and things like that. That's usually where she shows up to show her respect. But I think that information was left out until episode 4. So like really, if you only seen one episode and you just hang it up after that, you're not gonna put everything together, unfortunately. But I really just wish people kind of just like not jump to conclusions and just have these takes that don't make full sense, and without properly watching all the episodes to connect everything together, you're not gonna properly be able to analyze the show and really dissect it for what it actually is. But I digress. That's just one thing that really one pet peeve that I've been seeing a lot lately, especially on TikTok, and I just find that a lot of people are very, very just misinformed. But it is what it is. I can't control that. But another thing that I really did love about DanDaDan is just, I love the creative aspects of the show. I like the ideas that are presented. I like that the two, like Okarun and Momo, are genuine love interests, and their journey and discovery of each other, and just like being young adults, and just like navigating those kind of environments. It was a really interesting watch for me because I really liked it, because it didn't feel corny, it didn't feel forced, it felt natural, right? It felt like, oh my god, like, okay, like, cool, like, he's like the shy guy, whatever, like, he's not super into, not like he's not super into or like he's against it, but he doesn't know how to like navigate these advances that happen sometimes. And it's interesting to watch because these are natural reactions that people do have, and I appreciate that so much, and I like that. I really love that aspect of the show, and I'm so grateful for the author for like really including that in the show. But I like, there's just so many things that I want to just get into. It's just a lot. But like outside of like the weird assault scene, there's just so many other things, information left in it, and when you put it full circle, it's just a really good story, and it has really, I think the pacing's a little bit too fast. Just a little bit too fast. They could slow it down. They could bullshit it out a little bit more. But honestly, outside of my opinion, I'm thinking it's too fast. It definitely was a good watch overall. All the characters are genuinely interesting. I like all the yokais, like all the concepts of them, like Turbo Granny being like a speedster type character, and Evil Eye being like the super strong but also very like playful character all in one. It's a very interesting, like, these are like very interesting dynamics. Not that they've never been done before, but it's good to, I like to see these takes, and they're very good to watch. Ira's a fun character, like her thinking she's the leader of the group, but also Ira definitely be holding it down. Honestly, like, we gotta give Ira her flowers, because when shit gets through, Ira put belt to ass every single time, and she locks in, and she does what she needs to do. And I don't know, I think for me, like, the most interesting part about it is just like, in terms of the animation, because I didn't really read the manga yet. I seen like snippets here and there of the artwork from the panels and stuff like that, but I think in maybe a couple days or a few weeks, I'm gonna start getting into the manga. I am gonna be sad when I catch up to it, because I'm gonna be like, damn, like, now I gotta wait. And it's the same thing that happened with like Demon Slayer. Like, I love season 2 so much. I was just like, I'm just gonna finish, I'm gonna read the whole book, and now I know everything that's gonna happen. So now I'm not like super interested in like finishing season 3 or like watching Infinity Castle. I watched the majority of Infinity Castle part 1, but you know what I mean, like, I'm trying not to do that, but like, you know, ebbs and flow, I guess, ebbs and flow. But like I don't know. Like it's just so weird because it's like the majority of the story revolves around Okarun losing his balls because Turbo Granny took it from him, and it's another example of her punishing him because she thought he was just gonna be like some weirdo trying to like assault a girl or some shit. So again, she takes his balls as punishment because that's just what she does, because that's who she is as a character, because she's always trying to protect these girls that are in these like horrible situations. So that's a punishment that she kind of enacted onto him. But like again, we're thinking, oh, like why are they searching for balls? Why are they doing this? Why is there so much emphasis on the balls? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like yo, like when you actually watch and you actually pay attention to the context of what's going on, and like the foreshadowing and the context clues, it really becomes more interesting at every watch. And I just like I like when I didn't initially put everything together. So like I said, like when I first watched it, I was like, damn, like what's going on? This is just like giving my brain like ADHD, but it was scratching that itch that needed to be scratched. And I just was like, next episode, next episode, next episode, next episode. Right, but when you put all these concepts together, it really becomes like a full circle moment where you're like, oh, okay, these all these incidents do make sense and they all tie in together, and it's not just random bullshit. It completely makes sense. And it's a weird concept in it of itself, because it's just like, even yeah, Turbo Granny took his balls, okay, and they're searching for his balls. Like, okay, like that's a weird story if you really think about it. But I like the concept because it's like the author was not afraid to be different. He was not. He was just like, yeah, this is gonna be weird, but like, okay, like it's gonna make sense, and it makes sense, y'all. It makes sense, y'all. It makes sense, and there's so many other like interesting plot points that really kind of come in, like when you get to like episode 7 and you're getting the story of acrobatic Silky, not Acro Silky, and the fact that she's like a single mother, and she was also like a prostitute, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't even know what happened to why the men came and took her child. I don't know if she stopped sleeping with them, or if she was being pimped out, or I don't know the exact. I like the timeline of that. I'm not sure, but I just know she was into some form of sex work, and push comes to shove, something was not upheld, and she was punished, and the gangsters or whatever came and beat her up, assaulted her, took her kid, and left her out to just was like, fuck you, bitch. I don't know. That I need to look into again and probably just rewatch it and see if I can get more clues on that. But even like the acrobatic Silky story, the animation alone for that episode was so beautiful. Like, and I can say this, I cry easy for a lot of shit, bitch. Like, I'll watch a One Piece episode, soon as that shit start getting sad, they start giving backstories, bitch, tears start falling out my eyes. My eyes start getting teary. Once they start playing bitch, but like my fucking eyes start tearing up. Once they start playing Mother C, Onin storage room, come on, like I start tearing up. So when I was watching the episode, I was like, damn, like this shit is really deep, this is really dark, but it's really sad, and it's really upsetting, but it's really invoking these emotions in me. And I don't necessarily feel like that's always easy to do when you're trying to get your audience to relate to something, but it was just so well done. And Acro Silky's story is just so tragic. And I just like the fact that she thinks she thinks she's the mommy for Ira, and when Acro Silky becomes a yokai, and then even like that situation, it was just really like overall, I just feel like it was just very well written. Like I just feel like there isn't. I feel like DanDaDan doesn't have a lot of misses so far. If I when I read the manga and I catch up and I read it as a whole, I'll get back to you guys when it happens. But overall, I just don't feel like it has a lot of misses. I think the storytelling is immaculate. I think the art style is amazing. The art direction is also amazing. The use of color in a lot of the scenes, like when there's in like specific fight scenes when they're going against Turbo Granny, and like every time Turbo Granny pops up, the scene turns red, and as if like that's Turbo Granny's color. Or like when they're fighting yokais, like the to know that they're in the yokai spirit world or whatever dimension, because to emphasize, if you didn't realize, anytime like they start fighting the ghosts or aliens, the color changes in the show. The color direction changes. Like when it's the aliens, it's like either blue or green or whatever. But it's kind of an indicator that now the characters are not in the same universe. They're in the alien dimension, whatever. It looks the same. Both looks the same, but they're not physically on the planet Earth as we know it. Like they're not like, you know how like I'm in this room, like you basically, once they start fighting or dealing with these otherworldly beings, they are not in the same dimension. Like they're basically like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you know, like you have the spirit world in Bleach, and like like how hollows can't be seen by humans, like, but they're there. It's kind of like that situation. So they become kind of like hollows where they can't be seen, but they're still in the same space, but it's not the same space. I don't know how to explain it, but like when you watch it, you get it. Like it's like, and it I don't like that there. I don't want to say I don't like, actually I take that back. I like that there isn't like a lot of deep explanation to it. It's just a thing that happens, and we just know that it's happening, and we're aware of that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I don't think everything needs a super deep explanation, and I like that they didn't emphasize too much on it, because I don't necessarily consider DanDaDan like I can't specifically put DanDaDan in the genre of just a battle shonen, because it's just so much more than that, right? So I just like that all the different concepts get their own shine, but also I like that not everything needs like a long explanation. Like this isn't Hunter x Hunter where they gotta break down everything that Nen does, or like Naruto where like this is how chakra works and this. It's just like this is what they do. This is the concepts, and you get like little breakdowns here and there, but it's not like super in depth. And I like that it's not super in depth, like, because not everything needs a super long deep explanation. And I'm okay with that. If y'all think otherwise, let me know in the comments below. But I just think that's a okay concept to not like super emphasize on. But I digress. But all in all, and this is just mainly like for season 1, I think that the show has accomplished a lot so far, and I believe that it definitely will be one of those shows that people watch years to come. I think it's going to be in the archives of like really good shows over the years and decades. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be remembered like Dragon Ball Z, and it'll be like people remember Bleach and Naruto, and like Full Metal Alchemist and things like that. I definitely think the potential is there for this show, and I just hope that the artist keeps going. I'm saying the artist because I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. I wish I should have wrote that down when I'm in my notes. But shout out to the author of the story. Y'all know who he is. We all know who he is. I'm kind of bugging out with this video. But overall, this is just a video of just like my love of the show, and I'm glad that I watch it. I'm glad that it has inspired me to be more creative as an artist, and to get out my comfort zone and just like start working again. I really like that the show has done a lot of that for me, and I appreciate the inspiration. It's given me a lot of ideas, especially as somebody who wants to create their own series and things like that. I want to get into entertainment and animation. I definitely love like all of that, and what the show has really emphasized and provided as content. So I'm gonna kind of wrap the video up here, but like I said, I'm possibly going to have a manga overview as well when I get to that bridge to cross. So far yet I haven't done that, but more than likely it's going to happen because like season 2 just came out a few months ago, so it's not like season 3 is gonna be like around the corner. It's probably gonna be like next year or the year after. So I'm just gonna catch up with the story, and it's like the same thing I do with other mangas or animes and stuff like that. Like with One Piece, like I'm on and off with One Piece. Like over the years, I've been a One Piece fan since that shit was on four kids WB. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching that shit for like 25, 24 plus years. Like I've been a One Piece fan, solid. Been a big One Piece fan. But I'm gonna end this here because we're not really, it's not a One Piece episode. But thank you guys for watching. If you watched the show, if you watched this little episode, let me know if you need me to like insert like clips like of like what's happening in the show when I talk about these characters. I'll try to get on that. Like my editing game right now is ass, and I really like, for me, like it's I hit the start button and I hit the end button and that's the video. I really don't want to get like super detailed editing. I just don't care to do that. But if you guys do want me to do that, I will try to add some clips here and there. But I don't necessarily feel like it's necessary like if you've already watched the show, because this is kind of the demographic that I'm probably appealing to. If you haven't watched the show, I highly recommend to watch the show because it is a good show. And if you're watching it based off the things that I've discussed before, I think that you will enjoy it. I think it's a good watch. I think it has great animation, and I think it has a great story. So thank you guys for watching the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.